So I pretty much have a Harvard degree in making money online at this point. And what I mean by that is I spent $76,000 of my own money on how to make money online. I bought courses, I bought mentorship, I bought anything and everything under the sun that I thought could get me ahead in life. And I did it from being a broke 17-year-old making $8 an hour, quite literally putting the fries in the bag. I worked at a cheesesteak and hoagie place. It was an awesome job. I actually had a very good time there. I was good friends with the people, but I made $8 an hour and it sucked in terms of financials. And this one summer, I decided to save up all of my money. I mean, all of it. And spend over $1,000 on a social media marketing course on how to start my first Facebook ads agency. That course ended up making me a grand total of $0. And yes, I mean $0. But the course taught me a few things that really made a difference in my life and catapulted me into the entrepreneur I am today, where I currently run a business that has made over $100,000 every single month for the past 5 months. Granted, it is my busy season. There are ups and downs, but I've had a bit of success. I'm 23. I live in a penthouse in Miami. I rent it. Actually, I don't own it, but I have a Rolex. I have the cars. I have almost all the material things you could dream of, but at the end of the day, that's not what's made me happy, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to tell you what I learned. So, first off, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like the video. I quite literally have nothing to sell you in this. Let me close this door. Sorry about that. Okay, the door is strong. Bear with me. So, what did I actually do? What did I actually learn? Well, leveraging other people's skill sets is one of the most important things you could ever do. This is one of the first things I learned from that $1,000 course I told you I made $0 from. So let me give you a very perfect example of it. Imagine you want to start a new marketing agency. Let's say you want to go to the local restaurants, that place you always eat pizza at, and you want to start running Facebook ads for them. Well, if you go to the owner, he's probably going to say like F off pretty much because you have no track record. So instead what you can do is you can go online and you can post a job and say, I'm looking for a Facebook marketer. You're going to get people to apply that have experience. Then you find someone who maybe has spent over $100,000 on Facebook ads and you partner with them. You say, hey, I have all these leads, like you don't have them, but like you'll get them, but like just tell them you have leads. And then they'll be like, okay, I'm interested, bring me the work when you have it. Then you go out, you find leads, you find work, and you say, hey, back to that restaurant owner. You go back to the pizza shop owner and you're like, I got this guy, he's run over $100,000 in ads on Facebook. Here's his resume, and I'm pretty sure I can get him to run your Facebook ads for you for just $1,000 a month. Now look, obviously that sounds like a lot, but it's gonna make your pitch a lot more compelling. So leveraging other people's track record to help you get started is a major thing that I've been able to even do in my companies, where I find top level talent and I pay them a lot of my company to be able to market their results. For example, I paid out my analyst over 15 grand last month because he's that good at what he does. And I got to leverage his track record. So anyone that knows what I do, I run sports betting groups. We do full refunds on anything if you're not happy. I'm not selling you on it. I'm telling you that right now because a lot of people will think I'm a scammer if I tell you I do sports betting. Anyway, let's continue. What else did I learn? Speed is everything. Stop being the guy that watches every YouTube video on self-improvement, on how to grow your business, and just start doing shit. Because at the end of the day, watching 15 of these YouTube videos, just like the one you're watching right now, isn't gonna actually make progress for you in your life. At the end of the day, what it's gonna do is just stress you out and make you feel like you're making progress, but you're really not because you haven't started yet. Then we have the last example, and bear with me because this is gonna be like on the spot. So let's say your toilet explodes. I think this will work. And who are you gonna call to fix it? A plumber, obviously. You're not gonna call the guy that knows a little bit of plumbing, a little bit of electrical, a little bit of everything. You're gonna call the plumber, even if he's more expensive, because he'll get the job done right. So in business, stop trying to be the dude that knows how to do a little bit of everything. Like you know a little bit of coding, you know a little bit of websites, you know a little bit of Instagram, you know a little bit of this, a little bit of Discord. Stop being that dude. Like really, nobody wants that dude. No offense, it's the truth. I went down the path, I know. What you want to be is super niche. So find something you're really really, really, really good at. And if you're not good at anything, find something and get good at it. So for example, it could be copywriting, it could be sales, it could be something. Just get good at one thing and get really good at it. Because this goes such a long way in networking with people and also increasing your income. Like I just told you before, nobody wants to pay the dude that can do everything. Everyone wants to pay the dude like the plumber that can do one thing really good. So for example, with me, I'm really good at growing social media pages in the sports space. And obviously once you become an expert at one thing, then you can become an expert at something else. But it starts with that one thing. So let's continue onward. What was the second thing I bought? It was an $11,000 Discord. I know, crazy, right? It was called Gents Croquet Club. It was the best purchase I ever made in my entire life. Honestly, there's actually videos out there calling it a scam. I think Spencer Cornelia had one, but like, look, at the end of the day, GCC, that's what the nickname was, you got what you put into it. Like, I was messaging every person in that group, getting on calls with random people, wasting my time with a lot of them, but I met some of my best friends in there. And you can say, oh, well, you met your best friends, like that's not the money. Well, those best friends made me tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. They connected me with high-level CEOs. One of the connections ended up leading me into the current position I'm at right now with another company. Like, connections are everything, but kind of like what I said before, nobody wants to network with the guy that's like good at everything. You want to network with the guy that is super specific, very niche, because that's how you leave an impression on people. When you go to a high-level CEO, even in like your personal life, people want to walk away from that. You want people to walk away from that conversation with you and actually like be like, damn, I'm never going to forget that guy. That's the kind of impression you want to leave on people. So I'm going to tell you a story where I had this exact situation happen to me. And I learned this from my friend Danilo, ironically met him from GCC. And it's basically, when you go into any networking event, and remember, everything outside of your friends and family is strictly transactional, typically, you have to be able to look for value that you can provide to other people. How can you provide value to this person that you're talking to? I was talking to this one billionaire a couple months ago in person. We're just sitting there chopping it up, you know, the normal. I start telling him about my systems, my automations, my back end, which is my niche specific thing that I'm really good at on top of social media. And he stopped the conversation, said, stay here, walked away, got his wife and came back and said, honey, you have to listen to this kid. That is the type of impression you want to leave on people because they won't forget you. When they see you the next time, they will want to talk to you again. And you need to be able to become good enough at something that you can leave that type of impression on people. And when you leave that type of impression on people, things will come out of it. When they see an opportunity that might align with you, they're going to want to send it your way. And vice versa, when you see an opportunity that might align with them, you can ask them for advice on it or even send it their way. And in the future, they owe you a favor possibly, which is obviously super valuable. So that is what I learned from GCC. Network is everything, but you shouldn't network until you actually build a skill. Ultimate accountability is another thing I want to add in here. At the end of the day, you can sit around and you can cry and you can say you got scammed, but the world does not wait on you. At the end of the day, it all comes down to you. It comes down to what you put into things. So take accountability. If something doesn't go your way, if you think you got scammed, what could you have done better instead of just blaming other people? And yeah, somebody could have absolutely screwed you over. I'm not saying it's not possible, but usually you can find a way to extract some type of value. Just like this next story where I spent $30,000 on coaching and I got completely scammed, straight up, like absolutely scammed. And now a lot of you watching this are probably like, I knew it, that was so dumb. Why would you ever spend $30,000 on that? Like, you know, but the thing is, I would do it again in a heartbeat. Heck, I would spend more. I would spend 40, 50,000 because what I understand is access to information, access to the right information is more valuable than anything in life. Because the main difference between me and someone ahead of me, and the main difference between me and someone behind me in terms of business is access to information. What do I know that you don't know? And how much time did I have to implement it? So for example, imagine you're running a business and it makes $100,000 a year, right? 100K a year, doing well. You keep it growing, you don't buy any coaching. The next year you might make 120. The next year after that, you might make 150. You're going well. Or you could sit there in that year where you're making 100K, go send some guy $20,000 that has a lot more experience than you. And instead of that next year making 120K and making 150, he might make it so that the first year, instead of making 100K, you only make 50, like, because you reinvested more into your business in terms of $50,000 back into the business. But the next year, you might make 160. And the next year after that, you might make 300K. So you see, it's taking a step back to take a step forward, because in the long run, that's all that matters. Like, you have to think of things in a long-term scale. If I pay someone $15,000 today, but they can make me an extra 1K a month, obviously that pays itself off in 15 months, and then I'm making a lot more money long-term. And then I want to give you guys one more piece of advice. Saying no is one of the most important things you can possibly do in business. You are going to get so many opportunities, so many ideas, so many things that come by your way, and saying no is one of the biggest things you have to learn how to do. Because I've been offered equity in more companies than I can count. I've been offered money for things, more things than I could count. I did not mean that in a weird way, but like, just learn how to say no and only say yes to the absolute right opportunities. If it's not the right opportunity, if it's taking you away from your focus, it is not worth your time. And all in all, I would spend every single dollar that I did again. It was all worth it. And if you're on the edge of your seat trying to buy something, or if you're just thinking about it, I say do it. Because what's the worst that can happen? You get scammed, and then you can make a cool YouTube video about it. but that's my video. That's my story. I spent $76K on courses instead of going to college, and it made me the person I am today, where my business did 100K a month for 5 straight months. It is my busy season. It's about to calm down and things will get a lot less hectic, but yeah, information is everything. So go get some. Thanks.